What's up, guys? What's up? I'm eating pepperoni. I keep reading stuff that says, like, cured meats are, like, gonna give you colon cancer. And I'm like, man, I love my pepperoni, though. Soap eating hours? It always is, dude. What up, Cheeky? He said I keep the other 10 bars I bought in there so y'all can have a land party. Oh, yeah. I gave some soap to some of my family members recently, and my mom loves soap. She loves it so much. What doesn't give you cancer nowadays? That's what I'm saying. Dude, I had that shit at what I think is a young age. Okay? Take it from me. Been there, done that. You can do everything seemingly right and still get it. Obviously, some things are linked super heavily, so don't do those, but other things, it's more of a, you know, it's like a somewhat correlation. And I think personally, it is okay to knowingly increase your risk of something like that, so long as when something does happen, you're like, yeah, well, I really wanted to eat that pepperoni. And the thing is, if you know, then you know what you do. You get exams. You get checked. You get comfortable with the idea of getting regular colonoscopies and stuff, right? Right? Yeah, put on your sunscreen. Eat the stuff you're going to eat and just use the medical system as best you can. Oh, okay, last piece of pepperoni. Woo. Mmm. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. Tell me what you see, Doc. Got some of the big pep slices of the deli the other day. Game changer. Oh, did you never do the sliced deli pepperoni? You did like the hard pepperoni and the stick and stuff like that? Dude, dude, you go to the deli counter and you ask for fresh sliced pepperoni. Like Soterio, one of those kinds. Oh my god. So good. And that on top of that, I do actually like the dry pepperoni that comes in the stick with like the skin on the outside you gotta peel off. I would get the stick and I would peel it off with my teeth and just oh, it was so good. You have a DK costume on IRL? Oh, I wish I had that thing. I saw Let me get the picture. Let me find it. I put it in the in the tier 3 chat. I'm forcing tier 3 subs to be pet pictures, by the way. Both of my goats this morning were wearing the same costume. Because they're both playing Donkey Kong. And I was dying. Let me find it. Here. It's Barb on the left, Dan on the right. They were This is both of them streaming today. Oh, I love it so much. Love it so much. Hi, Sai. This shit was so funny. Also, Myrmidon, thank you for the 5. Ringo, thank you for gifting a sub. Zurkin, thank you for the tier 3 for 23 months. Grog, thank you for the prime. PTD LSD, thank you for the 11 months. Golden Fire, thank you for 11. Elskagong. I know it's Iskagong, but I like to say Elskagong. Thank you for the 6 months. What's new with you? Thank you for the 31. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, dude, I love these dudes. This person came in and said, feels okay to talk with normal VTuber, not horny or angry. I want to be like, actually, but like, you're not wrong. I will say there are plenty that are super normal, or there are plenty that 1% maximum of what they say is either of those things, and that's what gets clipped. The other 99% is them being really normal, but that doesn't get clipped. So I'm just saying, everyone has their moments. Even me, like, I'll make a joke about like buttholes, and they'll clip the part that sounds like the most raunchy and then post that, and then try to frame it as like me talking about my butthole, but I'm just talking about like buttholes in general. And they try to like make the thumbnail make it look like it's something like that. And then you click it, it's just me making a butthole joke. And people are always like, man, I was hoping I'd get another 5,000th horny clip of the week. And I'm like, you ain't been to the stream, man. You ain't been to the stream, you don't know. I'm the soap VTuber telling you to wash your ass with soap, okay? Yo, you the butthole VTuber? Yeah, exactly. So you saw someone complain about that on Twitter. They said they can go 6 hours being totally say so, but the one sus sounding thing always gets clipped. Oh, all the time. All the time. I don't really care at this point, but when that meta was like first coming up, it's still there, but some people were like, some clippers were really egregious with it. I would hard avoid saying things in a certain way, even if it's just the way I would normally frame a joke, because they would clip it and put it on there. And I was like, I'm gonna do everything I can to avoid this, because what would happen is the clip being made doesn't bother me. It's the viewers that you get showing up because of those clips I didn't want to deal with. You know what I mean? So I would like steer so hard. Now I don't really care as much, but I steered really hard from it, so I didn't have to deal with that. Because like, if it didn't have those effects, I don't think I would care. Clip what you want. It doesn't really matter to me, you know? Like, make the thumbnail you want. That part isn't what matters. It's the actual after effect that I have to deal with that's like real annoying. So that's why I would like, you know, I'd push back hard the other way. Wouldn't always work, but usually would. So. And look, those clipping channels, and I was like practically never on those, because those people would look for that stuff and they wouldn't really find much of it. So they'd be like, ah, forget her. And then I wouldn't have to deal with like that side of the community being like, we live here now, you know? Which, and when I say that side, I mean, it's like, it's not a fuck ton of people, but it's appreciable. I don't mind if people can code switch too. Like, that's fine. I just don't want them doing it here. I mean, Yuzu was just talking about that. Yuzu got it pretty bad. But I mean, she also would make a lot of jokes at her own expense that made that really clippable, you know? And she did like kind of, a lot of people did that and would lighten up on it over time. But they were kind of already established in those clippers' minds because of the jokes they initially made as like, this is the kind of content I could make about this person. And then like the commenter base that they had was always like, oh, she's so crazy, something boobs, something, you know, pussy lips or whatever the fuck they would say in the comments. And like, even if the person said something totally normal, they'd still be commenting crazy shit. So those clippers would be like even if they toned it down, the clippers would still like do the same shit and try to frame them that way. And the commenters would see everything that they said through that lens of knowing stuff they'd said previously. And that's why it's like so hard to. There's no undo button. There's no undo button when you like set up a meta for yourself. People will always go back to that and be like, this is the thing now. It's like, imagine if Queso, you know, he's made so many jokes about his weight. And imagine if he said, hey, no more. I'm not going to make any and you guys aren't going to make any. His Twitch chat might be able to keep up with it and they'd have to mod some people out. But like every clipper, everyone outside of Twitch would 100% still make those same jokes for the next 10 years. About like his weight and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, ugh. Once it's done, man. And a lot of the time they don't even know. They're not trying to like be assholes. They just don't know that that's like, you know, I've changed my brand or whatever. Girly Pop crew make a lot of those jokes together, but the clippers always make it worse. Yeah. But I mean, it's the internet. Anything you say or do will be hyperbolized, and you know that, right? Someone in the GTA scene, what do you think about the GTA JP Stogra server? Stogra. Seems cool. I only know about it through the lens of watching Kanae play on there. Seems cool, seems really different. It's really all. It's a lot of acronyms. That's all I have to say on it. I don't know much about it. STGR Stogra. STOGRA. Anyway, we're gonna game today. We got new shit that's coming out. Oh, I pressed that button. Oh, I have to turn off those buttons. Holy shit. Let me do that on the side. So many games came out today. He Is Coming came out too. Yeah. I've been waiting for He Is Coming for a really long time. That's something that we played the demo of. I don't know how long ago. But it's a roguelike and it's so cool, man. It's so cool. The final game right now, it looks like it's gonna be $15, but it's 35% off. So for me, it's $9.74. Pretty good. It's a cool ass game, dude. Let me the thing is, if I show screenshots, there are gonna be people that are like, "Ooh, I think all retro shit looks like shit." It looks really properly like an old NES game, but it's a roguelike auto battler. You run around, you pick up equipment, you go through scenarios, you choose a path that you walk through the woods. Each step you take is like inches you forward in time. So you pick a path and like walk around and do all these things. And then once like the final night passes, there's like a day and night cycle. Once the final night passes, then there's a boss. And based off of what you picked up and what you've chosen, you fight the boss, right? It's very standard like kind of format, but the way the game plays is so nice. No, you don't build a deck. It's not card based. You just decide what stats and items to give to your character, and then they auto battle the boss. So it's about like making really good choices in the path you pick. Here, I'll show. It's such a good game, man. It's such a good game. Okay, so you're running around your area. It's also genuinely, I love when things look super dark mode because I can play them late at night and not burn my retinas. So the little box that looks like a knight is you. And you're walking around, you're moving your character around. So you'll see like a red thing, it's a little enemy you could fight. You'll see a little treasure chest you could pick up. You'll see some spots you can go to. And you just walk around. And each time you walk, you look up at the top, there's like this meter showing like days, nights, and then the boss at the end. It ticks down that meter. It like progresses time as you move. So, you know, gives you a lot of choice there. And then on the left, you can see he's got strength, armor, and movement, like agility. He's got a weapon, and then he's got 8 slots for items. They keep it really like lightweight. It's not an overly complex game. And then I love I'll show you. I love the screen when you're in battle. It just feels so retro, but it plays in such a modern way. It's like the type of game it is very much like a modern roguelike, but they made it look so retro. Look. So you know what boss you've got, and you know what his effects are when you see the little, like, as you get a little game knowledge. They put them next to each other, and boom, he just auto battles. He just auto battles, and if you have given him the tools that he needs to win, then you get through it, and you go to the next set of days. It's a banger game. I played the demo so obsessively. Like, I played 15 hours of the demo at least, and that only lets you play through like a little bit. So I'm really excited for the full game. I wanted this game to come out so badly. I had been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I feel like it's one of those games that didn't really have like a ton of marketing around it. They just made their shit, made it really good, and were like, here it is, guys. But I've been like a diehard fan of the fucking demo for a while. But yeah. I'm gonna play it. It's made by a dev that has not like published anything before, I don't think. Chronicle, but spelled Cronocle. This is their only game. And it's just a banger. I don't know. I'm just like, oh. We've been waiting for this for quite some time. So, yeah. What was the name? He Is Coming. Kind of reminds me of Loop Hero. A little bit, yeah. I don't know, though, because I've only played the demo, so I don't know, like, what happens after that. Obviously, the demo is a small chunk of the game. Let me make sure I get it. I didn't download it yet. I agree to the terms of the Steam subscriber agreement. Install, yes. It's on Game Pass. Yeah. Oh my god, it downloaded that fast. I said install and then the sound played. That when I said install was when I clicked the button. Jesus Christ. Oh. I was watching NL play it for a bit, buying after work. Yeah, should we play today? I feel like I want to play Donkey Kong really badly though, so I might do Donkey Kong first, and then maybe we do this Sunday. Maybe we do it Sunday. I think we do it Sunday. But man, I fucking loved the demo. I love the demo. Definitely their own things, but the battle style and equipment feels similar to how you describe. Yeah. It was fun. I mean, the fact that I kept playing the demo over and over, I just knew, like, I'm gonna end up playing this game. That's it. It's gonna be one of my Steam Deck games where I sit there and just play it nonstop on there when I'm, like, laying in bed, trying to pass out, can't get myself to sleep. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Art on the Steam page looks so good. So good. Oh, people were saying NL was playing. Is he playing it right now? I figured he would end up playing it. Oh, yeah, he is. He is. Look at that. Look at that. It's a good game, dude. And before people call it Pixel Night Rain. Please, no. Please, no. You doom scroll for an hour and a half before you go to sleep? I can't, because, like, when I doom scroll, my brain has new thoughts entering it all the time, and I start thinking about this stuff, and my brain starts going. Whereas if I play a game, I'm like on one track, I'm locked in, and then I just start, no, I'll just pass out. I just need, like, new thoughts to not be entering my brain, you know? New things to ruminate on, you know? You still can't anymore. Perks are staying up late for a geek stream. Yeah, you know, yesterday I streamed early. I kind of liked that. Kind of like that. I don't know if I'd always want to stream that early, but I don't know. Today we started like closer to the usual time. I used to start a little earlier, but not that much earlier, like an hour. And now I'm thinking like, what about 1 p.m. every day? What about, because ending earlier means there's a lot I can still do. Some businesses are not closed yet, etc., etc. I typically start stream in the afternoon. I have to get everything done in the morning. There are also a lot of meetings that I always set for early, and they end up pushing stream back a little bit. If I streamed first and did my meetings after, then if they go on later, I'm not having to push this back. I don't love having the start time be variable based off of that stuff, but it like has to be a lot of time. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So I'll think about it, but I think maybe doing this a little earlier would be good. I don't know. We'll inch it back until I decide. That's what I'm thinking. Missed a little bit of yesterday because it was a little early for you. Yeah. I think I also just like being able to watch a lot of my friends that stream later. A lot of my friends stream late, and I can like never watch them. And I'm at this weird time where I can collaborate with people that stream earlier if I start earlier. And I can collaborate with people that stream later if I stream late. I'm in this weird in the middle slot where a lot of people aren't really like collabing at that time. That's not when things get set up for. They get set up for earlier or later. And then it's like, it's a little awkward for me streaming it, right? Because then I have to be like 5 hours into stream and then a collab starts, or I have to push it early, Yeah, it's because I'm like East Coast. I'm doing like what's my normal afternoon, but for other people, that's, it's a weird slot for them. So there's that factor too. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, man. Whatever. But much to think about. Much to think about. Anyway, today we got Donkey Kong just came out. He is coming, just released. We're gonna continue Grounded, and that's probably gonna be what we're doing for the next bit until Grounded 2. Until Grounded 2. I did go to Barb's chat. Popped in and said hi, and he was like, I've been seeing you've been playing Grounded, because he's also been playing the first game. It was cute. I've been seeing you're playing that banger game, Grounded. It's a really nice one. It's a really nice one. You don't have a Switch 2 yet? I hope people can get them soon. I think they're trying to get that in like time for holidays. I don't know. I feel like that's the early release well before holiday season is a good thing, because then it means that they can kind of catch up on the stock stuff by that time, maybe. But I'm kind of worried. I think a lot of people might not have their Switch 2s by then. I think. I don't know. We'll see. You could tell they probably knew that because they don't have a ton of games on release. They just kind of had like Mario Kart. Now Donkey Kong is added to that. And people are saying really good things. They're saying it's like, they're comparing it to Mario Odyssey, which was incredible. I would replay 10 times over. That it's just such a good 3D Mario game. And people were saying that they're like feeling that from Donkey Kong. Yeah, same dev team, of course. But outside of that, same dev team could make something that's a pile of shit if they get it wrong, So the fact that they made something again that has the proper feeling, it feels like that game, as far as level design and all that, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. You said you're just so done with Nintendo. Why? Like, I get the drama reasons or whatever. I'm not. I don't care. I like the IPs. I don't care. You're enjoying Bonanza even more than Odyssey so far? Really? Really? Interesting. We'll see. I'm gonna play the fuck out of it. No matter what. I'm gonna play the fuck out of it. He charges an arm and a leg, but 99 of 100 gives good games. Yeah, so My hot take. I don't mind them charging more if I know the games are going to be good. And I know that they are pretty consistent. So I feel more comfortable looking at that price ahead of time and being like, yeah, I trust they'll actually deliver though. I don't mind it. And I've said it a million times, game prices have not gone up with inflation at all. Am I happy about games getting more expensive? No. As a consumer, no. I'm just exploring this from all sides. They have not raised the price of games with inflation one bit. And Nintendo is one of those companies that we know they've had a lot of articles where they're talking about not doing crunch time with their people, letting things take more, which means the cost of making games is a bit more because they're paying people for more hours to release one game because they're letting timelines go longer. So they're getting fewer games per year or per team, right? So like their costs have gone up because they're treating their workers well. That's what we've seen in media based off of what people are saying about their people. And that is something that I think is better. You know, the fact that they're not crunch timing their people, they're just like letting that go. I'm okay with that. I will say they're AAA, so they have the advantage of they don't have to raise game prices to still make a lot of money in general, right? But I like the trend, and I hope that trend passes over to other companies too, at least, right? But you know, there's still that factor of like when you sell that many copies of a game, you could keep it cheaper, and the scale, the volume you sell will just kind of pay for some of those people's time. So you know, it kind of goes both ways. But still, you don't buy consoles for locked games. It's 50% pettiness. You know, that I can understand sort of, but I wouldn't have the same action. I would still buy it because I don't think there's anything wrong with a company having their console, having their games, keeping their stuff on it. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Things were always like that. And then later, more games. I mean, there are plenty of games that end up on Nintendo consoles that are on other platforms. It's just their own IPs that they, the company, own that they want to keep on there. I don't think that's a problem. I'm not mad at that, you know. It'd be one thing if they like were like trying to claim shit. Someone was like, I want to put my game on your console, and they were like, no, well then you can't put it anywhere. But they're not really doing that. Like with the Switch, they started really letting up on it and being like, okay, this game that was on Steam, let's do a Switch version. Okay, and not being like, oh, you have to take it off Steam then, you know. So it goes the other way nicely for them. So I feel like, you know, I'm chill with that. Personally, I'm chill with that, you know. Yeah, there's no reason to buy an Xbox because there's no good exclusives and they go to PC anyways. Yeah, if you don't have any exclusives, you would actually kill your own company. They would literally kill their own company. If Nintendo started offering their games on PC, people wouldn't buy Switches as much. Like, way fewer of the console would sell. Everyone would go, oh, I could just play this on my Steam Deck instead. And then they'd lose so much money and have to fire like half their workers minimum, right? Like, why make a decision that so clearly would kill your company? So I'm not mad at them for being like, we're gonna have exclusives, right? Yeah, exactly. Microsoft is having that, and then Microsoft laid off a ton of employees, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, how could Microsoft do this?" And I'm like, they made a decision that they thought was cool, and they're like, "Let's not do as many exclusives," and it just killed it. You know, it killed it, and they had to lay off so many of their people. And there you go. Microsoft's been killing a lot of shit for a while, though. Let's be real. Let's be real. I think a lot of their ideas were cool, but a lot of them just in practice destroyed everything. It just destroyed everything, you know? I don't know. Nintendo adult cult would still only buy Switch. No, not really. Unless they added a lot of features to the Switch, like they put back Street Pass, etc. Like all these little cute things that make the console feel worth it. But no, people would still buy Steam Decks because times are hard. Not enough of them, you know? Not enough of them. But I think Steam Deck the Steam Deck's existence is what would make it so that a lot of people wouldn't buy a Switch. But if it weren't for that, you'd still have people buying them, yeah. Even if all games are available on PC. Because a lot of people want a handheld console, right? It was tough. Microsoft is notorious for constantly laying people off as they pivot direction every 2 years. Hey, they're a huge tech company. Tech workers know that they're going to work on projects and then things are going to end and then they're going to have to get a new job, or they themselves hop jobs early. I feel like that's really common. It's just been a little less so in gaming, but Microsoft is Microsoft. So yeah, they're making their typical tech company decisions and applying that onto all the gaming studios and everything. It's something that, like, I feel like if you've just worked in standard tech, you could see miles away. But if you're working gaming only, you'd be like, oh my God, how could this happen? You know? Right? It's a tough situation. I'm not saying I agree with any of it. I'm just saying, like, I've seen this pattern a lot, you know? So I would almost expect it if I were in, like, that company making games for them. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I agree. Like, it'd be a bit of both. I think it's worth to discuss if consoles are even viable anymore. They just don't compete at their current price for you. A lot of people don't have a good PC for playing games, and a lot of people aren't going to get one. A lot of people aren't going to get a PC. They're just going to have a laptop because they go out and work with it and they go out to school with it and all of that. Also, most of the stuff you do on the internet is doable on a phone nowadays, and I think you shouldn't knock the market share of people that are sitting there doing everything on the internet with their phones. So most people have a phone and a game console and play like normal ass games on that. There are a lot of people that have PCs, but it's not as many as you think. It's not as many as you think. That's why, think of how huge mobile gaming is. Look at how many billions of downloads these games have. Because everyone has a phone. So the cheaper option for most people is going to be to buy a console and to have their phone, honestly. So a lot of people go with that. Also kids especially. What parents want to buy their kid a huge PC and put it in their bedroom that they don't have room in it for and blah, blah, blah. They're going to be like, yeah, take this Nintendo Switch. You know? So that's just how it is typically. But that's why PC gaming is not like the only thing, because people don't have PCs en masse like that. And they do have laptops, a lot of them, which is technically, you know, technically a PC as far as what it can do, but not really as far as what it can handle, right? And a lot of people have like shitty ones. People don't know anything about specs at all. They're just like, oh, $800 for a laptop sounds good, and then they buy it. They go to Best Buy. They go to Target, and they're like, my son wants a computer. He wants to play games on it.
But Mom, I need that GPU for school.
I need the 5090. But yeah, it's most people, it's like phone, tablet, console. So that's just how it's gonna be. So even if they up the console price, if you already are gonna get a PC, like, it's probably worth it for you to just have the PC and not worry about consoles. But if you don't have a PC yet and you're trying to decide what to do, and you just want to play some games, you're not a person who has a Steam library with 2,000 games already, and you don't know the golden life of being a Steam user, then you're just gonna go for like, okay, I'll just get a phone, tablet, and a console. It's gonna cost you less because of your current lifestyle. Know what I mean? So that's just how it is. But the way I personally run my own life is I will buy all of them because my number one hobby is playing video games. I put so much time into playing video games, and then I like go for walks outside somewhat. I used to hike. I might hike more now that my health is better. And then I play video games. I don't even like watch movies and TV much at all. I only when I'm eating. Okay. Only when I'm eating. People will be like, did you see this movie? I'm like, no. They're like, what, is your head stuck in the fucking sand? You never have seen like any movie whenever I ask you. And I'm like, I just play video games, man. Sorry. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? So for me, it makes sense for me to have a PC and a Switch and a PS5. You know what I mean? So, not an Xbox though, because there's no point. But, yeah. Yeah, that's just how it is for me, at least. So I own like those things. I own a nice chair. I own a good mattress, and I own a a place to live, and that's it. So the only things that are expensive that I've purchased are things that I spend all of my time in or on or using or whatever. Yeah, and my cats, right? That's my only real expense, aside from like my basic living stuff and anything related to streaming. It's that. I went and bought clothes for like the first time in a year. In like a year, I didn't go clothing shopping for an entire year. But a lot of my stuff from like that I've been wearing, I wear the same shit all the time. And I've worn some of the same stuff like 3 summers in a row. It's so nondescript, and it's stuff that like does not year to year look worse over time. So it hasn't mattered. But I finally went back because some of it was dying and needed replacing. How many rompers? 5,000. Several. I love rompers. Rompers and anything that is a one piece, anything that you can wear that is just one thing is my favorite. My favorite. I love it. I know. Need to update some stuff. I tend to buy things that are really like, I wouldn't say they're always classic in the way they actually look, but I buy things that I know are not about to go out of style in a year. Things that I look at and I'm like, I've played these games before, you know? Like, I really try to not buy stuff that is ultra trendy or whatever, because yeah, it's right, it's just not evergreen, and I just feel like I'm gonna hate it in a year, and it's just there, it's a waste of money in my eyes, because I like to wear things until they're like dying if I can. So I have a lot of stuff that's like maybe not the most classic thing ever, but it works. It works. No, I don't like fast fashion. I hate it. I really I like buying things that are like, made of a nice fabric, things that I can actually sit there and repair myself and not feel like the threading itself is just gonna like disintegrate. When I feel like the textile itself is gonna get worn down in a year, I don't want to buy it. I want that to last. So I tend to buy like one or two things that are a little better and then just keep them in good shape as best I can. You know. The store you buy clothes from will start sending you emails the moment summer hit, like, hello, fellow linen enjoyer, would you like even more linen? Actually, linen is one of my most favorite fabrics. Like, nice linen, though, is really, 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 really good. It's my favorite. It's a little annoying because it gets wrinkled so easily. It's a natural fabric, obviously, so, like, you have to take a bit more care of that, but hang dry and it's good, man. It's so good for summer. I get overheated so easily, and linen just lets air pass right through it. So I've always been a linen enjoyer, and it came into fashion. I don't know. I noticed like last year, so many companies started just having linen clothing, like pure 100% linen, not always like laced with microplastics and shit. And I've been really happy about that. I've been really happy about that because I don't overheat. So I own so much linen. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's some people where it makes sense for them to be on the cutting edge of fashion. Maybe they're in the industry, they're models, influencers, etc. I think it makes sense if you're going out and being seen all the time. I'm just not. I'm enclosed in a box and no one sees me. And then those who do see me, if I'm wearing something that looks classic, they're not going to be like, oh, not on the cutting edge of fashion, are we? I don't have to worry about that. So I don't know. I just love chilling and having my, my little linen shirt on or whatever. Ooh, you like ironing? Yeah. Linen irons really well. I mean, and you like have to iron it half the time. I just hang dry everything or like lay flat, so I don't have to worry about it. What other fabrics do you prefer? Linen, merino wool. Those are my goats. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine, really, but those are my two goats. They're the best. Merino wool socks will save your life, dude. I'm someone who's hiked a lot, and I gotta say, People always think of wool as a fabric to use only when you're going someplace cold, because when you layer it, it keeps you insanely warm. But if you have a really thin wool sock or thin wool shirt, it's really, really good. It's really good for hot weather, especially hiking, because when you wear like cotton, for example, cotton absorbs moisture. So if you're hiking and you sweat a little, or you like step in a little water, now you've got like damp feet forever. It like never dries. It never dries. And you end up getting like just nasty. You get trench foot. You get like all these issues with chafing, rubbing, whatever. You wear merino wool. That shit essentially, I wouldn't say scientifically it does this, but it's like it wicks the sweat. You just don't end up having the fabric absorb it. So the sweat simply evaporates. It just evaporates, right? It doesn't get stuck and trapped in the fabric. And it is so fucking nice. So fucking nice. I used to, like I said, I used to hike a lot, and you sweat a lot naturally. Even if you don't feel overheated, your body's just doing it as you move. And if you wear like a cotton shirt, even if you didn't feel like you were sweating, you're gonna start to feel gross. Really disgusting. So wool is good for that. Wool socks especially. And I will say, not that it never smells, but because of that, it doesn't get as smelly as easily. And if you want to like hang dry it, you haven't washed it, but you want to just hang dry it and rewear it because you're hiking and you've only got like 2 changes of clothes, you're going to be way less smelly than, anything else. So wool is good for that. Cotton's okay for it. It doesn't absorb smells as badly, but it still absorbs moisture. And if there's smells in the moisture, it will be there for a little more. But I'm telling you, wool and linen are the way. The way. Like dry fit clothes, especially if it's hot and humid out. Yeah. The thing is, I'm not 100% against synthetics. I'm not 100% against them, so long as they have a good function and they're gonna last. You can sit there and actually wear them like a lot. Yeah, all the dry fit stuff is crazy good. Crazy good. Yeah, foot sweat and odor in boots, you would have like really bad problems with it until you got wool socks. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, wool socks. And again, like I think a lot of people have this idea in their head that like wool is keeping you warm. Wool keeps you overheated very easily. It's all of that, but not necessarily, especially if it's like thinner, Oh, your mom's allergic to wool? Is it from like the lanolin, or I know a couple people that have that issue. Not super common, but common enough. Yeah. Sadly, always have sweaty feet. Yeah, no, genuinely, get merino wool socks, but like thin ones that are made for warmer weather. And you'll have a much better time with that. Honestly, a much better time. And like I said, they don't absorb moisture. So if you have issues with that, you can bring a second pair and halfway through the day, like swap them if you need to. It's pretty good. The wool itchiness has been solved somewhat. I will say there are a lot of really bad quality wools on the market now that wool got trendy again. And a lot of them have shorter fibers. So what that means is, let's say you have a wool sweater, especially cashmere. The cashmere industry has been like, it's rampant that there's bad quality cashmere. What they do is they shear these sheep, and they have these small fibers because they shear them very often instead of having these long fibers that stay in the weave nicely. So what happens is, you wear a sweater and then you wash it and it gets like pilling. It gets like all these like little fuzzy bits sticking out. And they even make wool shavers. Like it's like this, it looks like a little razor for your body almost. And it like shaves just the stuff that's sticking up. Basically, you have a huge problem with that, with these like bad quality wools where they have tiny short fibers. Some of them are made off of like scraps of other wool as well, so it's like the shavings, and so you just end up like with these sweaters that kind of break down quickly over time. So there's still a lot of, not good wool on the market. Yeah, I would look it up. I'm not the expert on every little bit of it, but like there are ways to tell, depending on where it's made and all these different things, if the wool's going to be better. And there are ways you can like look at it, stretch it, just stare at it, and be able to identify if it's slightly better quality or slightly worse quality. Because they'll be like, oh, cashmere sweater, $60, and you're like, oh, that's expensive, but it's cashmere, and I want to put down on a good one. But it might be like the shitty cashmere, it might be the shit one. So if I were you, it's like one of those things that I feel like everyone should just look up Just look up how to tell when wool is good or bad. That way, when you're sitting there in a store, you can look at it and you can be like, this is something that I don't want to buy because it's shit, because it's like flaring. I okay, hold on. I just banned that user. They said so. I wonder if they were hacked because they had like very normal messages up until this point. Are they okay? I don't know. I wonder if they were hacked or if they just like had a moment and went crazy. Well, hopefully if they get their shit back, maybe they can get their unban request put through. I don't know. Or maybe they thought it was relevant to the conversation and it was a miss, but if you can hear me, if your shit wasn't hacked, put through an unban request, please. Because all of their messages before this were so normal. That's why I'm saying it. Okay. There we go. He was a sleeper cell and cotton was his wake up word. Maybe. You never know. You never know, man. Could be. Wool set him off. Maybe that was the code word. Merino wool. It's not really a good one. It's not a good one at all. I would say you gotta pick something that's like never said. Cashmere, cashmere. Can they even hear you? Do you have it so bad users to watch the stream? I do. I actually do. I right now I'm pretty sure I have it set. Actually, unless that I changed and I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I set it so that ban users can watch. Because when I ban somebody, I don't care about I don't care if someone watches me or not. I care about their ability to interact with the community. Okay? And like they can just go on any fucking alt account or like a random ass, you know, incognito window and watch anyway. Doesn't change anything from my perspective. I just don't want them typing in the chat if they're a fucking weirdo. That's all. Right? And I mean the type of weirdo that can't hold it in. If you're a weirdo but you can hold it in, then you're chilling, you know? then you're not really a weirdo. I feel like if someone's a mega hater, they'll find a way to watch regardless. Yeah, exactly. So I don't have that on because like, and then it also lets me do stuff like that. Like, I think that person was hacked. I don't know. Genuinely, because they're like a pretty normal ass chatter other times. So we'll see. I know a lot of people have been getting hacked recently because a lot of creators have had issues with their channels. San. Do you know San? They have a fucking issue right now where their YouTube channel got yoinked. And the current scam is like they email creators and they're like, yeah, I feel bad. Basically, they send you an email and send something that looks really legit and it's like a sponsorship related thing or something like that. Yeah, she got. Malicious PDFs is another one as well. Yeah. So it sucks. But yeah, if you can, go to her Twitter. Let me find it for you guys. Go to her Twitter and like the post. Just boost it. Because unfortunately, the only way to get shit done sometimes is to ping them. It sucks, man. Let me find it. I don't think she was even like super targeted. It's just like, I don't know. She had to even like nuke her fucking Discord shit. Here's the. That's the original tweet that like Team YouTube did answer briefly. But yeah, if you can help boost that. I don't know, it just fucking sucks, man. Saw a PSA running around Twitter about the scam. I think Vienna was the one who posted something about it because she was like, "Hey, by the way, guys," or at least that's the one I saw. But yeah, they've been getting really interesting. How can you protect yourself against that? Awareness. Awareness. Basically, what they do is they do a thing where you click on something and they're able to yoink your session token. So even if they don't have anything related to your login, they're able to duplicate that and pretend they are you and be in your accounts fully logged in, and then just change everything. And just change everything. And get you fucked. So, yeah. It's bad. That's why a good way to do this is actually to number one, you should always have people doing things for you if you can. If you can. Number two, use potentially other devices, other browsers, other everything. Do not take your main browser that you use for everything and then open stuff with that. Open new stuff that some random sends you with that. You shouldn't open stuff that a random sends you anyway, but you know, shit can happen. So there's a lot that you can do, but new browser, incognito window, new session, like everything, fresh login, etc. Two-factor only with an authenticator app, because any other type of two-factor just doesn't have the same level of security at all, especially like SMS is the worst one. It literally does nothing. It does nothing. So, you know, yeah, just have things be separate, man. It's the best you can do, and be aware. Don't open shit. Don't open shit is really the way. A lot of the stuff I do, you know, not everyone has access to this, but I have someone else brokering stuff, right? So someone else is talking to someone who is a direct representative of a company, or I'm brokering stuff and I'm talking to a direct representative of a company. I know this person. I'm talking to them, you know, like there's that. But I think that's really only something that larger creators have access to. So it's tough. A single trustworthy person getting hacked is viral so fast. Yeah, what if my like rep from some big company that hands out sponsorships got hacked? Like, you know. It'd be rough. It'd be rough, man. I want something. The authenticator app is kind of like this. I basically want like a hard wallet. I want something that is the equivalent of a hard wallet, but it's for this. That's my dream. Now those can get lost, which is a little scary, but I think that's my dream. I don't know. You kind of have that in the form of the authenticator app, but it'd be nice to have something like that that's essentially a backup of it as well. Yeah, YubiKeys, right? They have things that are kind of like it. They don't work with everything though. Sometimes depends. Neto, holy! Thank you for the 53 months. Thank you. Thank you. I think the physical passkeys haven't really caught on enough because they don't like work for everything sometimes. So I just want those to become more normalized, and then I'll be chilling. The company you work for stores clients' personal data in a Google Cloud Excel sheet. Okay. Depending on what institutions you work for, some of them don't allow things to be stored in Google Cloud because of security concerns, but they will say that storing things in an Excel sheet is totally fine so long as you're giving the right people access. I don't think storing data in an Excel sheet is as big of a problem as people think it is. The problem lies in where is that stored? Who is it shared to? That's the problem. But I know companies that have huge databases of people's personal info, literally in Excel sheets. That's not the problem. Is it inelegant? Absolutely. Absolutely. But a lot of the time, that Excel sheet being a singular file is actually more secure than a lot of like cloud async or sync, you know, storage. Like it's not, you know, it could be a little more sketchy. because usually things not being secure lies in human error or anything. So you had to alert their team twice that the sheet was externally shared. Yeah, that's where the problem lies, right? Is who's sharing what and where. I don't know. You can't fix people. You can't fix people. You're not a snob about Excel. Yeah. Look, I used to work in that world for a long time, and I think I always see people quote it. They're like, companies are so cooked, they have entire companies held up by Excel. And I'm like, yeah, it's because Excel's fucking good, all right? I know it's archaic a little bit. It's good. One Excel sheet and a bit of VBA, and you could run the world, okay? That's not the problem usually. There are a lot worse, like, software gore moments hidden below the surface. I'd rather a company have just an Excel sheet than, like, some of the other shit they use sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. It works and it's available without a procurement contract. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Your job runs on an Excel sheet and a little bit of VBA. You know what? It's because most people, all they know about Excel is that it's like a thing with cells in it. They imagine people using that sheet as if it's like this manual data entry process of people just typing shit into random cells and like scrolling through 10,000 rows of data to find something. But that's not how it works with a lot of companies. Sometimes it is, but I know plenty of ways that you can just make this work differently. So, I don't know. TLDR, learn VBA. Knowledge is power. Run the world. My final message. It's nice that you can use Python instead of BASIC now. Yeah. Microsoft wants to kill VBA, but they can't. They literally can't. Do you know how many companies they would kill off if they were like, yeah, we're stopping all of this? It would, oh man. I mean, if they can make something good to replace it, that essentially does the same thing, that'd be great, but they're not going. The whole point is they don't want to, you know, but they're just stuck. They dug their grave and they're gonna lie in it. They're gonna lie in that shit forever. Yeah, it's a security nightmare. Oh, I know. I know. Costco still uses the AS400 system. If it works, it works. Honestly, it's job security. You go learn one of those old ass systems, learn how to maintain it, and you'll be fine. You be a young person with a degree getting out there and being like, oh, we should use this newfangled whatever, blah, blah, blah. You'll never get a job. But then you show up and you're like, I'm VBA's strongest warrior, and you'll make $1 billion, man. Am I hyperbolizing? Yes. Have I seen it work for a lot of people? Yes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Learn COBOL, get hired by a bank, make infinite money, be unfireable, be the most bored person on the planet. I've heard a lot of people repeat this. I'm going to say this right now. COBOL's not easy to learn. Being bored isn't just the problem there. It works in a way that a lot of people don't like do well with. So, you know, I never tell anyone like, you know what a great option is for great job security? Learning COBOL, because I think there are a lot of people that their head doesn't like wrap around it well. It's just it's a slog for them, you know. Yeah, it's agony. Yeah, it really is. It's not boring. It's shit. It's shit. Yeah, if you've learned assembly, you would understand. It functions though. It functions, which is great. But it's not something where I'm like, oh, if you want job security, go learn COBOL. Like I wouldn't tell most people to do it because I genuinely don't think they can really have any sort of life with it. Like I just don't see most people doing it, you know? I'm not gonna say it's the hardest thing ever, like the knowledge is hard, but like getting people to do that is like pulling teeth. It's impossible, you know? So, I don't know. Not assembly. I once made something in assembly that when it was finished, it took the little, you know, there's a little speaker on your motherboard that can make these like heinous beeps. I had it like play a little tune with the on motherboard speaker when it finished its process, and it would go like, and it was so disgusting. It was so awful. But I was like, I'm gonna use assembly to the fullest right now. I'm gonna do everything with assembly right now. And when I learned it was like super easy, not easy, but super easy to make that happen, I was like, I'm gonna add this for flavor, why not? And it was disgusting. It was the scratchiest kind of sound. Oh my god, it was so bad. It was so bad. But it's funny. It's funny. You found this amazing video from the 70s about how to refactor COBOL to use structured programming. I've seen some gore, Bite. I gotta tell you, I've seen some absolute gore with COBOL. It's so bad. And it's stuff that like people nowadays never need to think about because we have other shit that does that. But man, it was bad. It was bad.
In college I had to take an OS and assembly class. For April Fools I wrote an OS that when booted would say, computer over. Virus equals various and put it on a USB drive on my friend's computer.
Yeah, I think in school a lot of people did like really stupid shit like that because you're just learning like what can I do, and I have to demonstrate that I can do all of these things. So even just being like, I need this to display something, you know, and then you just throw some throwaway text in it, and you ended up with a lot of stupid things. When I was first learning Python, it was older Pythons, it was like well before 3. They were, one of the things I had to do was just demonstrate that I could make something complex just using elif statements. I wasn't allowed to like I had to use nested ifs and all these things. We couldn't do anything very complex yet because they wanted us to demonstrate that we could make like gory, disgusting, like only nested if statements versions of things. And then we would get taught the right ways to do it later. Because what they wanted to do is they wanted everyone to be able to use every possible method of achieving something and just be able to know. That way, if we were doing review of someone else's, we would look at how they're doing it and immediately recognize and go, oh, you're trying to do this. Here's how else you can do that. And we would get a lot of prompts like that. Do this, but do it 5 ways. Do it in this method, do it in that method, blah, 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 you know. And so what I did was I recreated, I made something that felt like Undertale, basically, right? Like if you look at how it's made. And I recreated like OG Pokemon text-based and with ASCII art. With it was just like nested statements. It was so disgusting, but I was like, dude, I could do this. I could do this. It was so gross. I hated it, man. It was a monstrosity, but it was doable. It was doable, and the prompt was really just like showcase how you can use something really simple inefficiently to make something really complex, right? And then you had to go and do the same thing with like 2 other ways, or you know, whatever, using like proper methodology later. And then it was part of the report. You would then show like, here's how many lines of code I saved, here's how much time I saved, and you know, they made you do it both ways to drill into your head like, don't fucking do it like this, you know, don't fucking do it like this. and that was it was a really good thing because I like that they put us through that instead of just going, this is the right way, here you go. They made you sit there and do it the painful way and then do it the right way, and then you compared your time on paper, you know. I thought that was a really nice way to teach it. It was cool. It was cool. You just made stupid robots like a laser turret that tracked your eyeballs so it would always shine directly at your pupil. I got to do stuff like that too. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Although I was a lot more math oriented, so it was a lot. There were some things that I did, some of my friends got to do in later classes that I didn't get to make, but I did other shit that they thought wasn't cool, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. Please, for love of everything that is holy, make a state machine for your game. You have enumerators to use them. You could yell that from the mountaintops and devs will still like just not know. Especially when it's like baby's first game. They're learning as they go, man. I mean, Undertale's a perfect example. People always bring it up. Like, it's just garbage. 1,000 nested ifs and well, more than 1,000. And it functions. It does. It does. But what can you do, man? People learn over time, maybe. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. I've seen some shit recently. Oh, I have. I have as well. I'm not gonna say who, but let's just say I've seen someone streaming in the games and dev whatever the fuck category, the development category. And let me just say I've noticed a surprising lack of state machines and other such things. Let me just say. I don't do game dev though, so I don't really care. This code is ass. It's even me not doing game dev, I just see it and I'm like, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm also not like I wouldn't be judging if people were being like, "Hey, I'm John Undertale, and this is all I know how to do." Right? Like if you just say that, I'd be like, "All right, let's fucking go, John Undertale. You fucking did it." You know? It's all about what you say and how you present it, right? That's all it is. Game dev is infamous for this stuff. Uh, hot take, hot take. There are a lot of people in game dev that are really great engineers. However, most really great engineers have a really good job at Amazon or something like that that pays them a lot. Um, a lot of the people working in game dev are not those great engineers. There are plenty that are really good at what they do, and they're working for really big studios or really big projects that are highly funded, whatever. But typically, game dev, you make like a third of what you would make doing an equally educated role in standard tech, and so a lot of people that work in game dev are not the best at this stuff because typically a lot of the people that are the best are like, let me just go get that big paying job and then I'll work on this on the side. Then again, there are also really good ones who just don't care about that. You know, they just don't care. But I think a lot of people that start out, they do it because they like software, they like this stuff kind of, but they don't want to do the really difficult, boring work. And they're not good at the difficult, boring work that's high paying, which means I would argue they're not the best devs generally. You know, that's my hot take, but it's a mixed bag. So when I say a lot or many, I'm not saying like all at all, but you know, Factorio devs are your idols. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's the thing is like there are people who do insane shit in the industry, 100%. I always say it. It's more about the use of the engine, and it's a little less about development. But there are people who work in creating games in general that are insane at what they do, and I will always say it. The people who went through and optimized Atomic Heart are insane. Insane. There's no way that game should have run full beauty, a billion FPS, looking wonderful in my stream during my stream while I'm playing and everything. When a lot of other games like run my computer like shit into the ground, they ruin everything. You know that game was so beautifully optimized. So there are people in the industry who are insane at what they do. So the best Unreal Engine 5 game for optimization is one of the first ones to come out. Yeah, and then since then, what have we gotten? Some that are good, but a lot that are not. It just goes to show, like, you can give people the same tools, and some of them will really know how to use them, and others, like, they go, my game's in Unreal 5, but then it runs like poop. Like hot poop. So, I don't know. It gave me a lot of hope, though, when I played that game, and I was like, oh, you can take this and really push it like this. I was like, wow, Unreal 5 is really good. And then other games I play on Unreal 5 and everyone's like, Unreal makes you have bad ray tracing all the time and it runs like shit. And I was like, I think it's the way the people do things in it, not the engine so much. Now that I've seen both sides, right? Now I get it a little better. I don't know. If only the writing wasn't so edgy. Yeah, the writing was kind of edgy in that game. It was. People need to stop shitting on Unreal 5. I just think I'll take anything anyone says about it with a grain of salt unless they've sat there and worked in it. You know? Because, like, when I'm talking about it, I'm like, hey, I've played games in Unreal 5. Here are good ones, here are bad ones. Clearly, there's a range, right? There you go. People need to either speak from a lens of experience with it or actually have experience working in it before they're going to be saying shit about it. They'll play one bad game made in Unreal and they're like, it's shit. Everyone on the internet says it's shit. And I'm like, we can't take those people's opinions seriously, you know? You just can't. I just wonder how long it took the people that made Atomic Heart and went through and optimized it. I wonder how long it took them to get to the point where they like knew how to work the magic of it that well. You know, like how long were they sitting there like figuring this shit out? Or are they people who are just innately perfect and just like got in there and were like, I understand engines well and I know how to do this? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, 5 is good if you're experienced in the engine. I assume it's people who had a lot of time in older Unreal as well, and then got to it and kind of had like a knowledge base of how to use it well. That's my guess, because they probably like knew where to look. But I don't know. You didn't like that game, played it for 4 hours, the writing and voice acting completely ruined the game for you? Mm-hmm. I tuned it out. I played it in front of a chat, at least the first day, and then when I finished more of it off stream, I turned the voice volume down a lot. That helped. I'll just say that helped. It was fun to play once I did that. I just had music volume up and I was just going, I was kind of like reading the lines a bit more, so it was easier to skim. Crispy quarters, yeah. They did announce the second game. They announced Atomic Heart 2. Trailers look cool. This time we're in fucking space. We're in like neo-Soviet space or whatever. I don't know. Looks neat. I just hope the writing is better. But I do want to say the writing was not originally in English, so how much of this was on the optimization team? I don't know. Also, the plot is what it is. The writing is just the plot. But the specific lines, they could maybe localize it differently, is my thought. So we'll see. But yeah, they talk too fucking much. You do anything and the guy is saying shit. And I'm like, brother, I'm glad for the voice actor because clearly he got paid, you know? He got paid. There's a lot of lines, but it was a lot. Have you heard the Expedition 33 director talk about his experience with Unreal Engine 5? Nope. I haven't. They knew what they were doing with the twins designs. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's what you should do. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what you should. If you're smart and you're trying to make money, when you make a game, yeah, you should have like sexual robot twins in there for marketing, and you show them off, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, what's happening? It's so crazy!" And they have like some weird cutscene, and then you go to play the game, and they just like show up for like some bits, whatever, you know. That's what you should do. That's 100% what you should do. Like, people get pissed off when a VTuber like has an outfit that has skin showing and they're like, ugh, and they're freaking out, and I'm like, okay, but people clicked. They still have to watch and like the streams if they're gonna stay, you know. Like, it didn't make them successful or whatever, but like, they got people to click. Mission accomplished. It's smart. They should do that, you know. Like, I don't know. It's everything else that speaks for what they do, right? Like their actual content, whatever, later. I don't know. Oh yeah, Yoko Taro with 2B. Thing is, no one's arguing and being like, oh, those games are bad. As long as you're using that to bring someone into something that is then good, all right. You know, as long as you put the same amount of effort into your marketing as you did into the actual product you've got for people, waiting for them once they click, there you go. Right? And yeah, people will play the game because 2B is in it, but then they'll be like, that game was fucking incredible. So, just saying. They did lean in well to the creepiness, though. It wasn't just fan service. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, it was fan servicey a little bit, but it also was like weird, and it was a good representation of like what was going on with the story and how weird everything was. So I didn't mind it that much. I didn't mind it. You know? Like Stellar Blade worked by that, but the story's great. Yeah. A lot of people are like, they're seeing these crazy ads for it and they're like, whoa, I want to play that game. And then they get into it and they're like, wait, hold on, the story's actually great. Nikkei too. Nikkei, it's known for being like the butt game, right? Like you have these models that turn around and they've got like this whole thing going on. Oh, you're gone. Thank you. They have this whole thing going on. Gooners click. But the story's really, really good. Like really well written. And I played it. We got sponsored for it a long while ago. And I was making sure I played a little bit before and I played a bit more, you know, for the sponsorship to be ready for it. And I was like, hold on. This writing's really good. It has everything. It has everything. So, you know, I that never makes me mad. If someone is using like a sexualized character for marketing, but then they have a good thing waiting for you once you get in there, I'm never gonna be mad at that, dude. Never. It's just smart marketing. It just sucks when they do that and then there's like a pile of nothing waiting for you on the other side. Got you to click, got you to pay, got you to download, but then there's nothing for you, you know? Then I guess like it's warranted to be like, all right, that sucked, you know? That experience was bad. But I don't mind, man. I don't mind. Withering Wave story is pretty good. That one I haven't gotten into. I've been really like not into Gacha. I think the only one I played recently was just Uma Musume, and even that, like, I'm not keeping up with it. I'm playing it here and there. I'm not keeping up on it like that. I don't hate the game or anything. I just, a lot of those games make me feel like I'm doing chores, and I don't get the payoff that I want out of them. So I can't do it. I get really overwhelmed by this specific thing that they do in every gacha. There are 1,000 buttons to click daily. There are 1,000 things with these random ass names that mean nothing to me as an English speaker. Okay, and then there are 1,000 like random ass currencies. You need to click this and gather one of those and then convert this into that and then blah blah blah. I hate that. I hate that. It's tedious and I don't like it. And it's bad UX on purpose to keep you locked in. It does not keep me locked in. It I see it and my brain is like, no, and I just leave. I just dip. I think the horse game's a little better with not having as much of that. I genuinely like, it took me, I don't know why my brain rejects it so hard, but when I was playing Genshin, it took me too long to grasp how to get everything you needed in that game because my brain rejects it. I don't know why. My brain just rejects that shit. It doesn't want to learn any of that. They'll be like, get your primo gems for the whatever the fucks and the whiz buckets, and I'm like, I don't retain this stuff because it, like, my brain is like, that's not important, and it throws it out. And even if I try to like memorize these things, I feel like I'm in school learning about a subject that I hate. You know? Like I just can't absorb it easily. And it makes me mad. So as long as the game is not completely filled with that, I'm okay. Uma Musume was not that bad with it. But I don't know. It just gets overwhelming for me because I feel like I'm doing all this stuff and learning all this shit for some payoff that should be done in a much easier way. And I think I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I hate it. I hate it. Because I could be doing that, or I could play fucking, like, I don't know, Donkey Kong Bonanza, where they're like, hey, you're Donkey Kong, go through the level. And I'm like, okay. And I press my jump button and, you know, 2 other buttons. and have a great time. So, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Donkey Kong. Uma's difficulty comes mostly from pure random chance, which I'm not a fan of. I'm okay with it so long as I know that it's like that. You know? That's fine, man. RNG is fun. RNG is fun for, like, betting and stuff like that. That's kind of in the nature of it. So I'm chill with it. I actually like things with RNG added. I do. Because, like, if I'm just plugging in some options and getting the exact expected result, then I'm going to be done with the game real quick. That's all, man. Donkey Kong's currency? Bananas. Yeah, so simple. So simple. The only thing you're interested in gacha games are its lore. Yeah, I think, I feel the same in general with them, so long as, like, or I'll interact with it so long as it doesn't take me too long or too much effort of doing all that daily shit to be able to get through the lore. Genshin was like that. You did not have to have a perfect build and grind stuff just to be able to play through it. And I appreciated that, you know, but some of them, you get to some plateaus, you know, some brick walls that you have to smash through and you have to sit there and grind for a bit. I'm not grinding gacha to progress the story. I'm not doing it. No thanks. I'm good. I've played JRPGs before. I'm okay, you know? I'm right. I don't know, man. Your brain rejects FOMO stuff. You give up on the thing right away. It's hard. Some people do have like a contrarian brain that even if they want to try liking the new thing, even if they look at it and looks interesting, their brain will be like, "You can't." They can't get themselves to try it. I have some streamer friends that are like that with the games that they pick. A new game will come out and they've been excited about this IP for a long time, and then the moment they open Twitch before their stream and they see so many people streaming it, their brain is like, "You can't play this because everyone else is," you know? And they like, and then they reject it, and they should just like play the thing that they want to play, but they can't get themselves to. I have a lot of friends like that. It sucks, man. Really try not to be like that. My brain used to do that to me. I say my brain because I like realistically had a desire to play these things, you know, but I would just like find myself not doing it, like subconsciously, I think. And over time I was like, if you're interested in the game, you're interested in the game. That should be the only benchmark. Am I interested in it? It's fine to try it and play it on stream, right? Like, at some point, I just got like that, you know, and I'm fine. But it did take me, like, some effort. For sure. It can be difficult for people, man. I don't know. You like when streamers don't all herd the same game? I want to agree, but I think over time I've felt more and more like, how many streamers do you watch? Are you multi-tabbing 10 VTubers and clicking through all of them and hoping they'll play different things so you can like ultra stim? No, you're probably actively watching one person and then maybe swapping to one other person. I don't think there are many instances where you're getting bombarded by the same game. Because each day you're like watching someone else and you're spending time watching that thing. It's usually not too crazy. I think the hard part is if you do watch a bunch of people throughout the week and you watch one person go through one part of the game and then you watch a later streamer, let's say, and they're also going through the same part of the game. Yeah, I get it. You're like, oh, I've already seen this before. But a lot of people don't watch like that many streamers and don't have that painful of an experience with that, you know? So if they watch one person one day and then someone else the next day, usually that second person is also progressed through the game that they're playing, and it's usually not that terrible. It does happen, but I feel like realistically it's not as bad of a problem as people think, you know? It's rough when it's a game you don't have any interest in. That's totally understandable, right? Because then you open like stream A, they're playing game A, and you're like, I don't want to watch game A. And then you open stream B, they're also playing game A, and you're like, well, I don't want to watch this either, you know? And if like all of your favorites are playing that, I get it. Like people who hate Peak are probably suffering right now. You know? I get that. I get that. But it depends on the game too. Some things are like, they make the stream unwatchable, and other things, it doesn't matter. Like Mario Kart, depending on who you're watching, you're not really like watching the gameplay and getting invested in the gameplay. You're just reacting to like their place in a race, and you're listening to the streamer talk. Half the time they're just vibing, they're just talking, you know? That was Marvel Rivals for you? Yeah, it's harder when it's a game that people play where they they can't do anything but commentate on the game, and they lock in and they don't say anything. So every stream is you just watching quiet gameplay of this thing you don't like. It really depends on what they're playing. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's so subjective too. You crave peak for when someone falls and does a Doppler scream. It makes such good clips, man. It does. Oh, I don't know. Ideally, a good streamer's playing the game you like. Yeah, and you won't always get it. I found that I got for a while I had like a more narrow set of types of things that I played. So like when I played early on, a lot of like retro or classic stuff, and not too many new releases, just some here and there. But when I did, it still like felt like a genre that worked with those older games. I had a lot of people that got used to me just streaming that stuff. And then when I started streaming some like newer releases of games, I would occasionally get people, part of my community, normal chatters, coming into chat and being like, "You've changed playing the new slop. What do you think?" I mean, they wouldn't say this directly, this part, but what do you think? You're like the rest of them playing the new game? Like, they had this weird ass attitude. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. What is happening? I would just be like, I want to play the video game. And they'd be like, the new slop. And I was like, brother. Yeah, you're right. Let me never play a new release that I'm interested in because you don't want to see it. That shit was so, I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. That's why you fall in love with GTA so lately. It's a good mix of yap and lock-in. Yeah, it's both. It depends on the streamer, though. Some streamers, like, don't talk to their chats at all when they play it. Others do, and they just, like, yap at their chat a lot, so it depends. It depends. Yeah, Squinting is saying those are too many pixels. There are some real elitists when I used to stream in, like, the retro category quite a bit here and there, and there were some weird elitists in the category. There were also a lot of really nice people that just enjoyed games so much. That was a real 50-50 category. Not even 50-50. I'd say most of them were really good, like the viewers that were there just because of that category when you're in retro. A lot of those chatters were so great, and they were just there to enjoy a game. They were cool as fuck, really nice to stream with. And then you'd get this little pocket of people that were like absolute retro core elitists, and if you played anything that wasn't like minimum 20 years old, they would look down on you. I don't know. It was weird. You play a racing game and they're like, nothing will ever beat the peak that was Diddy Kong Racing. And I was like, do I love that game? Yes. Do I think it's really good? I have a lot of love for it. Doesn't mean I play it and go, wow, this game's so great. It was great at the time, okay? I don't know. Shit was funny. Melee fans would never. Yeah, I know. It's nuts. Or I was playing Pikmin 4, and there were people that had come back that hadn't been there since I played like the first couple of games on stream, like a while back. And they came back and they were like, I remember you playing the early ones. It's just not good. It's not the same. It's not nearly as good. And I was like, actually, it's really great and reminds me a lot of 2. Shut the fuck up. I was so pissed. I was like, it's really good, man. Was it a little easier? Yeah. That was all. Dude, that game was great. They took all the good stuff from 2 and made sure it got in there. Thought people liked 4. No, but three people on Twitch really hated it, and they all came to my chat and made sure. They made sure I knew because they remembered watching me play the first game. Those 3 guys are so mad. Shit's always funny. It's so funny. All right, I have to read a thing, and then I want to open Donkey Kong. I want to start playing. I want to do it. There are gatekeepers that gatekeep old games too. Oh, always. There are people gatekeeping everything. I think we should gatekeep their lives. Dun dun dun. Hold on, I gotta answer a message. Okay. Good, done, did the thing. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, let's play Donkey Kong. I should be, let me double check. I'm pretty sure I downloaded it. Let me make sure it's all good. Factorio has no or few gatekeepers, but we are a cult. Games like that, what they usually have instead are on Twitch only backseaters that come in and tell you how to play the game. Usually they're really nice though, which is why I don't like hate them. I just want them to stop. But it's usually like well-meaning people that really love their game, and they're like, I just really want people to like this game. I want them to get really into it, and then they start telling you like, you should do this and you should do that, and you know, and it gets overwhelming. But they're usually really nice. A lot of the people that like come in and do that. So I don't like hate them for it. I'm just like, don't do it. You know? Because usually they just want you to like it too. Some of the ones for Grounded were pretty polite about it. Gotta say, the Grounded backseaters, super nice. Which is why, like, you don't see me getting mad once at those people while streaming it. A lot of them asking it. There were people yesterday being like, I'd like to tell you something to make this easier, but do you want to know it? And I'd be like, no, thank you, I don't. And they'd be like, oh, okay, I'm just glad you're playing this game. Like, I gotta say, the people that came in from the Grounded community were so nice. There are some games that are just like that, dude. They're just like that. Asking first is nice? Yeah. Yeah. We love those types, man. I felt like Retro was like that. You had some people that were really gatekeepy, but like most of them were actually really, really nice. Most of them were ultra nice and just enjoyed games and wanted you to enjoy their favorite games too, you know? So, yeah, if it comes from a good place, I don't mind. That's why people hate the Souls-like backseaters the most a lot of the time, because people come in and to tell you that you're shit for not doing things the way they like. They're like, you are so ass and you didn't use a good build, so you should die, right? They say crazy shit. And that's why the streamers are like, I don't like these ones, you know? Because it doesn't seem like it's coming from a place of, I just want you to like this game, you know? Not at all. I have to remember that they spell bonanza like bonanza. How many people do you think are going to start spelling bonanza wrong because this game's name is a play on banana? Bonanza. Bonanza. Don't forget, we have banana. Do we have any other banana emotes? We got monkey, we got banana. Ooh, I'm going to tell you about something that never came to fruition because now it's not going to come to fruition and I'm excited to talk about it and I never got to do it. We were going to do a thing this summer that had a theme. And of course, that's not happening anymore, obviously. I was going to be in a banana suit. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm real sad that I don't get to do the thing. It was going to be on like some art. And I was like, I want to be a banana. And they were like, should we do like a cute design? And I was like, put me in a banana suit. It was something that I planned out a bit, that I put forth. I was the one pushing forward some of the theming and everything. Very excited about it. I'll see if maybe like the original artist wants to just draw me in the banana suit anyway, just cause. Just cause.